Monday morning, ladies and gentlemen. Morning break. It is good to be here. How are you? I hope you had a good weekend. And of course, I act like this is interaction, that we can do this right now. But you can, in a way, interact with me. Find us on the app, on the Abundant TV app. It's super easy. Download the app if you haven't. Actually, right now, Apple's running a promotion for all of us that own apps. So if you want to, go over, check out our app on your Apple phone and give us 5 stars. That'd be awesome. It helps us. They're running a promotion for all of us that have Apple branded apps, which we do. And so, but weekend has happened. I don't know about you, and this is one of the things I find super strange. Like Friday, I think kind of like mid-morning, I start anticipating the weekend. Like I'm really no good to anybody after lunch on Friday. Just so you know, like if you have a meeting with me on Friday after lunch, like after 1:30, 2 o'clock, and you sense I'm not there, it's probably because I'm not there. I'm either thinking of things I have to do at home, which really does happen, things you got to take care of as an adult now in the world, or what I'm doing that weekend. Am I going to Costco? Am I doing that kind of stuff? I mean, I got to be honest. That's really what happens Friday after 2. But I was thinking about this weekend of all the neat things going on. We're headed towards spring. Of course, daylight savings time. Super proud of myself. I was only about 5 minutes late for church. And of course, I go to a very cool church. And they were singing. So it was not a big deal. Slid in the back where I normally sit because I'm a pastor's kid. So there, you can tell, and it's so funny because it's an unwritten thing. If you're a pastor's kid, you probably sit in the back of the church, unless you're the pastor's kid and now you're the pastor, and you have to sit in the front because you're on stage. So yeah, one of the two. But you slide in the back, which you did. But daylight savings time. Of course, we've all heard the debate that's going on right now. A lot of talk about whether that we should make this permanent, all that kind of stuff. My wife yesterday, she read this one article, said there are times that sunrise wouldn't be till 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't know where those people live, because even in the winter here in Ohio, the sun comes up long before 9 a.m. But whatever, it's what it is. I don't get into this debate, honestly. It's been a part of my life for so long. It's just ingrained. I know there are times where we spring forward and we fall back, and it's just there. I know it's there for a reason. By the way, if you're going to talk to us on the app, don't tell me there's a reason for it, because I know the reason. I'm not sure it's still valid any longer, but we're not going to get into that debate. So what did you do? Did you have a good weekend? I really did. I had a great weekend. We're in the process, and I know you heard me talk about this last week a little bit. Is my family, my mother and father-in-law, my brother and sister-in-law, and my niece and Kristen and I, every year we go on a family vacation. Well, every year since I've been married into the family. They did it prior to me, but now I get to go too. Anyway, we're in that mode. That's kind of what we're planning. We usually try to get this knocked out now so that we can get airline tickets, get all that stuff done, and get on with the season. And that's been a big part of our weekend. And I know people sit there and go, "Really, Rob? That took a long time." It does. You're married. If you're married to a woman or a man like Kristen, there's a lot of research involved. There is, and we look like we've kind of hit on Puerto Rico. So if you've been to Puerto Rico, know anything about Puerto Rico, let me know. Hit us on the app. Thank you so much, by the way, for watching Abundant TV. Biggest weekend we've had in the new year. was this weekend. Of course, we figured with all the things going on, Winter Olympics, everything going on, that people were watching other things. But biggest weekend we have had this year in 2026 was this past weekend. So congratulations to all the programming on during the weekend. One of our great sponsors, the great folks at My Snackies, the look in at Fort Lauderdale, getting ready for spring break. Did you do spring break like when you were a kid? Did you do spring break? Lauderdale is one of those places that some of my friends went. I did not. I lived in Seattle, so Fort Lauderdale was a long way to go for spring break. But Lauderdale looking pretty awesome right now. A lot warmer than here, though. It's not bad in Ohio right now. We had what we call fake spring, which really isn't spring, but it was close to 70 yesterday. Cooling down today, going to be only around 65. But then here's why we call it fake spring, ladies and gentlemen. There's a possibility of snow on Friday. Crazy stuff there. And great to get a look at the stuff from the great folks at My Snackies, my-snackies.com. Use the promo code when you talk to them. Tell them that you saw it here on ATV, Abundant Television. Yes, ATV. See, that's where we come up with that. Hey, you know what? It's time for coffee. Some great coffee. I got my coffee cup. Actually, this coffee cup is from Lake Tahoe. A few years ago on our family trip, we went to Lake Tahoe and it was awesome. Love Lake Tahoe. It wasn't my first time. It's probably, I think, about my 12th time to be in Tahoe. And just to let you know, it is awesome. But what's inside the cup from Lake Tahoe is even better. It's the great folks from 7 Weeks Coffee. Now, you've probably seen some of the really cool promotions they've got going on, and they do. And you need to check out their website at 7weekscoffee.com. But those promos are really good. Even better if you mention the fact that you watch on Abundant TV. Use ATV10 for your code when you order and get a special discount. Right now, they're doing all kinds of incredible deals at 7weekscoffee.com. Now, if you're like me, you love a dark roast, but don't miss out. Buy the variety pack, all 4 of their major popular blends, including their morning blend and their dark roast, which I love. And it's just a wonderful chance for you to taste and find out what you like. Hey, listen, go to 7weekscoffee.com. Use the promo code ATV10 when you ride. When we come back, hey, it's Monday. So it's Mondays with Molly. We'll do that after this.
Behind every precious life, there was a choice. Behind every family moment, behind every special memory, there was a choice. A life of joy. A life that is beautifully and wonderfully made. At 7 Weeks Coffee, we are funding the pro-life movement, one cup at a time. Will you let your coffee serve a greater purpose?
Thanks to great folks at 7 Weeks Coffee. By the way, see the new campaign they rolled out with Riley Gaines? It's only internet only because of certain things, so we can't show the commercial. It's very cool, though. And remember to go to 7 Weeks Coffee. Use the promo code ATV10. Save some extra money. Get some great coffee. Always need coffee on a Monday. Molly is here. Mondays with Molly. And how are you doing? How was your weekend?
My weekend was great. My husband and I are traveling at the moment, so what a better office to be in. My brother-in-law lent me his office, and it literally had a camera ready, lights ready. It's like I just walked into something made for me.
That is awesome.
Great.
That is so. So did the whole spring forward fallback thing affect you?
A little bit. When I woke up, I was like, wait, why did it feel like I just did not get enough sleep? And I went to bed a little bit late the night before playing with my 5-year-old niece. And so it hit me a little bit harder than normal. But you know what? I'm just like, okay, where can I make that up? Somewhere.
Well, here's the thing. Today is National Nap Day. So they're pretty smart. Whoever it was that came up with this. So I'm one of these people. I have a hard time taking a nap. I my body just does not do well. I can't slow down. My brain once my brain is on, this is a tough thing. Once my brain goes on, it doesn't matter. Like if I wake up, it doesn't matter if I'm in a hotel or at home. Once I wake up, and the thing that happens if I check my phone or check like that, well, you would have thought I actually did that on purpose.
That
That was super cool. That was not on purpose, ladies and gentlemen.
maybe.
But if I check my phone or I do something like that, I'm awake. My brain starts functioning. I am like, I'm ready for the day and I'm ready to go. And so taking naps like mid part of the day, like I have a friend, and you might have a friend like this too, Molly. Like at lunchtime, will go sit in their car and sleep. And I'm like, how do you do that? I can't. No, I'm like, my mind is like, I'm already ready for my next meeting. I'm eating lunch going, okay, so this is the meetings I've got the rest of the day.
Right. You're not actually taking a break. You're like, okay, I'm eating, I'm multitasking. I'm eating and also preparing. I can't do like the hour naps very well, but I had to start training my brain because I get up super early. Of sometimes when I first started getting up early, I needed a nap. So it was so hard to shut down my brain. And so there was a lot of rewiring that went on. But it's challenging for people like you and I because there's so many things running that it's like we just got to get those things off the plate and then we can wind down.
Well, and that's it. And I think that's a partially our thing with checklists. I'm a checklist person. I
Mhm.
have my checklist right over here. And like my stuff for today, which was prepared since last week, is ready for me to start checking stuff off.
Right.
And if I don't feel like I complete that checklist, I don't feel like I've accomplished my day and I can't stop and
Mm.
rest. And that's the tough part. That's I think the best part. Like and if you caught the start of the show, I was talking about planning for my vacation. We plan vacation time, and I think that's probably about the only legitimate time during the year where I sleep good because I don't have like a whole bunch of stuff I have to do.
Yes, that I mean, there's a your brain, your body goes into this like, okay, we get to
Yeah,
relax. We get to relax. And I used to be that super like I have to get everything on this checklist. And so I've transitioned to I get a lot of it done, but I won't, not to say you beat yourself up if you don't get to all of it, but I used to like beat myself up of like, we didn't do this, this, and this, rather than look at all the things we did do. Yes, we ran out of time, and then there's also opportunities to say, maybe I need boundaries for certain other things that come in and interject throughout the day. A phone call, another ask, a need. So it's always reprioritizing. And then at the end of the day, being like, you know what? Well done. We'll get back at it tomorrow. Let's get some rest and turn it off.
I think that's that toughest thing, like transitioning in life from being a person. And for my personality is I'm always saying yes. I can
Mhm.
help you. Yeah, I can do that. I can. And then getting to a point in life where you have to say, I can't do all of this as much as I believe in whatever it is you're doing. I
Yes.
can't help you.
That's
And
that
that,
the power of no, you know, and it's not that I
yeah,
don't care. I just there's only so many things you can say yes to. And then if you say yes to everything, then the things you really should be saying yes to don't have as much time, energy, focus behind it. So I have been in that camp, my friend. I totally resonate.
and I think that's part of it. I think God wants us to be intentional.
Yes.
And I think 2026 for me, not for everybody, obviously, because I don't control everybody. There are times I wish I could because I'd help people get along in their life. But for me, God has really made it to be a year of intentional, like
Mm.
maybe cutting. And my wife was big into this, and she's also very type A. And she said she came to me. It was 3 years ago now. It's 3 years ago, about right this month. And she said, Rob, you're doing way too many things, and you're not allowing yourself to have enough time to do all of them really well. And
Mm.
so I started cutting back. There were things I started saying no to, or started saying, I can't do this now. I can do this later.
Yes.
And I think that's a big in a lot of what we talk about here with Molly is always motivation. What but sometimes motivation isn't doing more, it's doing more with what like a smaller do you get what I'm saying?
It's like
I can't come up with the right wording.
doing things well. It's not doing more, it's
Yeah.
doing things well, right? Because otherwise we get stretched thin, and we all know what stretched thin feels like. So how can we do the things we really want to do well for saying yes to everything? So I completely hear what you're saying.
So how do we say no to certain things and yet still know that God wants, that he's blessing? Because I think a lot of Christians worry if we stop saying, well, this is God opened this door, God opened this door. I've got these doors all open. How do you as a Christian, how do you kind of balance those two things?
I love that you're asking this question, because this is going to be a really bold question to your question. Did God really open that door for you right now? Maybe it's a door for later. Maybe it's a distraction. Could be the enemy. This is an invitation, actually, of like, Holy Spirit, is this you? And is it now? Like, we always get to check. So I love that you asked this, because I've had plenty of opportunities this year. I'm like, Lord, this sounds like you, but is it right now? Is it a distraction? Because when you're on mission, the enemy is going to bring in all these good things, but is it something that God's asking you to do right now? And so maybe in another season, a prior season, you were like, oh, yes, I would totally say yes to this. I have found myself saying that. But understanding the time that we are in, and I don't know if you're experiencing this, Rob. I know I have. I've been talking to my family since we've been in town here in Orange County. God is expediting things, asking us to go deeper on things and stripping things out to really prepare his bride. And so there are going to be distractions at every corner, because the enemy doesn't want that. He doesn't want you to get closer to what God has for you. So this is an invitation of slow down, so you can be like, Lord, is this you? And then we get to move forward. So then we can have more of a confident yes. Now, for somebody like myself, maybe you resonate with this, Rob, too, of like, okay, I want to say yes. And then boom, let's get going. Let's hurry up. He will expedite the time when it is his timing for you to do something. So you don't have to worry about how fast. It's making sure that that is a yes for this season. And then, okay, what's next? What's next? As somebody who used to rely on their own strength a lot, of like, Lord, like, I don't gifted in this area. I'll just go. Missing the point, because it ended up bringing on so much more extra weight that I didn't need to carry, because I wasn't doing it with him. So circling back to bring it full circle, always check and ask, is this you? Is it right now? Show me what's next.
And I wonder too, partially, I was thinking of this, Molly, when you were talking, is sometimes I wonder if it's God saying he's revealing things, but they may not be for this point in your life. Or,
Yes.
hey, I'm letting you know that this is what's coming. This may not be the time, like you said. And how do you, because you're super busy, how do you go and really, I think prayer time is so important. I schedule, and I know people are going to laugh about that, but I actually schedule my prayer time as a business owner. I have a time every day in the morning, and of course, my wife and I pray before she leaves, and then my day I pray um, I, intentionally for a certain amount of time. And I think that as Christians, I think that needs to be added into our business life. Don't you think?
Absolutely. And I totally know what you mean when people are like, oh, I'm scheduling this. It's not that that's the only time that you pray, but you are making it a priority to block it off in your schedule. And people, it's like, if it's not in your schedule, it's not real, type of a thing. And we schedule everything else: to get our hair done, to go grocery shopping, to have a client call, pick up our kids from school. Everything is scheduled. But why do we leave things like prayer, where it's so important, and to be intentional, where you have that block of time, which I love that you have that, so you can really like dive in deeper, not just these quick, like, here's what I need, Lord, but like really get in there with whatever it is that's on your heart, or whatever he's laying on your heart. So I love it, because I'm, like I said, if it's not in my schedule, it's not it's not real. It's not happening. I need the reminders, because of all the things swirling around in my brain.
Oh, I do. You know what happens is, and it was tough because we were at NRB a couple weeks ago now for National Religious Broadcasters in Nashville. And it was weird because my day started so early. It started most mornings. My first meeting was between 7:30 and 8 a.m. And so I didn't have that intentional time of prayer. And that's yes, it was only a week, and people say, well, it was only a week, but you start to feel the difference when you don't have
Yes.
that intentional time of prayer.
Absolutely. It's like I'm the same way with if I can't get to, I have multiple Bible studies at my church that I go to every week. And if I can only get to Sunday service and I can't go to the other two for whatever reason, which has happened to be my life with a bunch of traveling this month, I'm like so dry. I feel so dry of not being in that environment or not being able to kind of be in my routine because you're doing something different, like being at a convention or an event or traveling and different things. Yes, you really start to feel it. It's like when you go traveling and you're eating all this great flavorful food and you're off your normal routine, you come home and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to work all that off. It's very
Yes.
similar.
Oh, and it's terrible too, because and that was a tough part. So I was really mindful on this trip to be better. And I was very proud of myself. Like, a lot of times the burgers come with fries, and I could have eaten all of those fries. But Molly, I'm going to tell you something. And again, this is a little brag on myself moment. I left fries. And then I would, of course, yes,
Wow.
I would point to my wife and tell her I could have eaten this, but I didn't. And she
That
said,
is
so that's a not topic of what we were talking about today, but I wanted to brag about myself for a moment. So that's what we're doing.
well, you're telling somebody who's like no fry left behind type of girl. Like I
It's
don't say no to French fries at all. Like
oh
I will
no,
make sure every fry, every tater tot, every potato, because that is my food of choice.
it is. I love
But it is
I love
gone. So that is Rob,
thank
that's
you.
great.
I do.
Self-discipline.
Hey, listen, a couple things we want to talk about before we have to get out for today. But first and foremost, you're part of Salted. I love this show.
Yes.
Love what's going on. Tell everybody about Salted and what you guys are doing.
Well, it has been incredible. A couple episodes have launched now. We recently added a fourth member to the team. And so being able to have all of these women that are coming together, different seasons of life, to really be able to bring truth, talk about, truth versus trends, what's happening in the world, bringing in different perspectives. Because oftentimes we just get fed the perspectives from either the actual news, social media, but here's like live in the flesh, like perspectives from Christian women that are either, entrepreneurs, they're in the retired, they're just living life. They're in full swing of kids and just all of the mode. So I love being able to have these different perspectives. And even on the show, like sometimes it's like, you know what, I disagree. Here's where I'm at. And we can actually see in real time of thank you for that, but this is my take. And you can learn how to agree to disagree or just bring a different perspective. And so it's real. And we chose salted the name because salt brings flavor, it brings life. It's not just sugar where it's giving us spiritual cavities, it's bringing in truth. So it allows you to have something really wholesome, real, and like what's happening today to listen and talk about. So on our Facebook page, we're also streaming it on Spotify, on Abundant TV. So honestly, I'm so excited for what the show's already done, being a part of it. But then I just see that bigger vision, like you, Rob, of how this will truly impact just opening up deeper conversations. That's my favorite part.
Yeah. Oh, completely, completely. That's super cool. Now, change for your life also happening. Your husband's enlisted, and he goes in this month, right?
He
Isn't it
does.
March?
It is on February, or not February, March 25th is when he officially flies out to Fort Benning, and then he'll be there for 4.5 months. Obviously, I stay behind until he's done and we get orders. And my husband is in his early 30s, so everybody's like, isn't he too old? He's not. They're actually very excited for somebody who's a little bit older, like, more mature. He's owned his own business for a long time to go in. But this really is a calling for him and a new mission field for us. So it comes with all the emotions, all the crazy, but at the end of the day, you could see the storm, but it's focusing on Jesus through the storm. And that's all I have to focus on when it comes to that arena of my life because it's brand new. But luckily, Stephanie, who's even on Salted, and actually Vivian as well, lots of people around me are coming out of the woodwork saying like, hey, been there, I'm here for you. And so I love being able to just have that support system because it is going to be a wild ride, but hey, you know what, Lord, just show me what's next, one foot in front of the other.
So, how much planning have you put? Because you're a business owner. How much planning have you put into the next 4 months without your husband being there?
At first, I was like, okay, what am I going to do, Lord? And then my thought process shifted because I was focusing on something else. I was like, okay, what else is there? And it looks like this. I will never have this opportunity again with no husband there. We don't have any kids, no dog. It's literally just me and the Lord. So it's kind of like a single season, but not of like, Lord, what do you want me to do? You want me to write a book in this season? Like, what do you have for me? So I'm actually excited to explore of it's just me and him. because I've been doing that for so long, but now there's really nobody else around. So I don't know exactly what that looks like. And the Lord is doing that intentionally of like, just keep it open, spontaneous, but know like good things will come out of it. And so that is my thought process going in, and excited for what it will do through me in the next 4.5 months too.
And you've launched a new project. I want you to tell everybody about that before we go.
Yeah. So it's called the Align and Assign Inner Circle. It was birthed out of a room that I never knew I was meant to be in until the Lord said, "Hey, just go here and be a fly on the wall." And it's amazing when you just are led and what He brings up and what it is in this hour. It's for businesswomen that are usually typically multiple six figures and above. They love the Lord. They want to bring Him into more of what they do truly, not just tack God onto the idea, but like bring Him in. So we focus on 3 pillars: refining your sound, your sales, and your stewardship. The stewardship piece is one of my favorites. The sound I've been doing for a long time, helping people craft their stories and really get their refined voice out there to really reflect the weight of what they're carrying. But God has really made it very apparent. It's more stewardship in this hour, personally, spiritually, and professionally. He gave me about 30 different topics of stewardship to really dive into with these women, because there's compromise that happens in the build. We're moving so fast and there's so many plates that we're holding and spinning and delegating. How do we be able to grow in stewardship so we can multiply what's in our hands? We all want the multiplication, but what about the stewardship part? So it's a 12-month container for women to be able to come in, have that connection. There's a retreat in the fall, but it's really diving in deeper. So there'll be about 10 women in the room, but it's depth. And there's still some spots that are available as I'm keeping things open in March. So if that resonates with you, find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. I'd love to connect, but it's depth in this hour to really dive in deeper and refine what God has for us so we can multiply for the kingdom and, of course, for our legacy.
That's awesome. So what are you going to do today while you're in California?
Well, I don't know if
Anything
I'll get to a nap since it's National Napping Day. Who knows? But I'm preparing for a retreat tomorrow, actually, with the inner circle that I'm a part of and how I get poured into for the next couple days. So then I get to kind of turn off for a second. So it's finishing up some client work, and really it's beautiful. It's a beautiful day out here in Yorba Linda, California. So I'm like, okay, Lord, what do you have? So working on a few things for my clients in Inner Circle to prep for trainings this week. But then also I'm really working on being more spontaneous throughout my day if I'm able to just see where He leads. Because as a checklist person, that has been very challenging. But that's why I'm introducing it more and more if I can, because there's so many fun moments that come out of that. So we will see where the day leads after I'm done with my checklist.
I think some street tacos. I think that would be.
Whether that's not today, I don't know about today, but when I come back from my retreat, we have a couple more days out here. Absolutely. There's nothing like California street tacos. That is
nothing. You can't. There is nothing even close to it. Hey, it's Mondays with Molly. Thank you, Molly, for being with us here on the morning break. Catch her on Salted on her own show every Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And it's awesome. Also, we didn't talk about it, but trust me, it is. And thanks, Molly, for being with us.
Thanks.
Wow, where did the time go? Went by way too fast again today. And thank you so much for being with us here on the morning break. Crazy how the time goes by so fast. And, no, it's on the app. Just go to connect on the app and connect with us, write to us. Thanks again. Hey, thanks to Steven, by the way, and I'm not going to say the name of the town because I would murder it, but it's in Germany, and I did take German. But Steven, thanks for watching the morning break. Of course, it's not in the morning there. He had to remind me, but appreciate you so much. Thanks for being a part. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, had your time away. Your work is waiting for you. This has been the morning break.